Kenny Omega attacked during his AEW return. Plus, Swerve Strickland's first AEW title defense has been revealed. And WWE are planning possibly a major Backlash surprise. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. We saw Kenny back on our screens last night for the first time in a long while. He's been off battling diverticulitis as well as a litany of other injuries from a year spent wrestling. He revealed that the illness almost took his life. He was talking to the crowd and said that, this is something that he could be 24 hours away from death in the position that he's in, and he was given the option to be cut open and have whatever's in there in the gut removed and be put on a bag, either temporarily or permanently, or he could leave it and always have a ticking time bomb in his stomach, where he wouldn't be able to take any blunt force trauma to the stomach, which would play into what would happen. He came close to retiring, but said after watching Dynasty, he was like, nah, I'm never retiring. I'm going to get back here one way or another. He is not done yet. And then he turned his attention to the naughty Matthew and Nicholas.
Yes, he did. He says, since we're already talking about colostomy bags, let's talk about two other SH1T bags. But then before Omega could talk any further, out comes Okada, and he declares that he is the best bout machine now. That takes Kenny's attention away from what could possibly be happening behind him, as Jack Perry then comes out, he blindsides Omega. Omega avoided the chair shot, hit a dragon suplex, which seemed to physically hurt him. He was like clutching his side and everything. Okada stops Omega going for the V trigger, he trips him up, and then that gives Perry enough time to hit Omega in the guts with a steel chair. He said, don't do that, blunt force trauma is bad.
Yeah, we told you that a second ago.
Yeah.
The Bucks came out seemingly to keep the peace, but they just leveled him with an EVP trigger and left him lying. Medics stretching him out as the Elite made their exit. Getting a wrestler beaten up in their hometown. How very WWE of you, AEW.
Man, I loved
very WWE of you.
I loved it so much. I've been really enjoying this whole stuff with the Elite so far. The Young Bucks have really turned me around with what they're doing character-wise, and for them to take away the hometown hero who's been away for so long, to take him away again so soon, he's just come back and take him away again. I thought it was
WWE
great.
did that to Jim Ross for many years, and we were very angry about that. We should be angry about that.
I loved it, I thought it was good.
It was nice to see Omega generally looking as well as he can do, considering everything that he's got going on. This almost confirms I think he's going to be back at some point. We don't know when yet. There's still no set time frame for him to return.
Yeah, well, they set the thing up, didn't they? They were like, give me a few months, me and you, Okada, we'll go for it. Yes, please.
He said that before the attack.
Yes,
so that might potentially be something that maybe shelves him for a little bit longer, but we shall see. Also, last night we had Swerve Strickland's first AEW World Title opponent revealed.
Yeah, so after denouncing what the Elite did to Tony Khan, the Young Bucks appeared backstage and revealed Swerve's first World Title opponent for Double or Nothing, the best Canadian wrestler ever, Christian Cage. And then Cage, along with the Patriarchy, laid out Swerve and Prince Nana. It was delightful to see Christian Cage back.
Why is this happening? Well, I'll tell you why. There is some story behind it. Cage remembers what Strickland did to Nick Wayne all those years ago. I think it was when him and Mogul Embassy invaded Nick Wayne's house.
Yeah, left him bloody, didn't they, in the gym and everything? It was brutes.
And also, it's a callback to Wembley last year, where Swerve and Christian Cage lost to Darby Allin and Sting. So it's a play on that, because without looking into that, you go, that's an interesting first opponent for Swerve, for Christian Cage. But you know what? I'm all right with it. The segment ended with Christian Cage taking a piece of hair out of Strickland's head and promising that Strickland's daughter will soon have a father she could be truly proud of.
I'm excited for this one.
I kind of feel, and I think they'll have a great match. These two will have a really, really good match. I kind of feel that because I think I said this in predictions and stuff, because I genuinely thought that Joe was going to retain at Dynasty.
Oh, wow.
And then Swerve would beat him at Double or Nothing on a bigger stage. Like the rematch would be where Swerve did it. I kind of still feel like that would have been a nicer idea to have.
I don't mind.
Swerve Joe too, but Cage
strike while the iron's hot, right? I guess.
I think that's the general consensus that I've had when I've suggested that. They've got, no, Swerve's hot now. I said, but he'll be hot in a month's time. Still, potentially. But either way, I think Christian and Swerve, my fear with that as well, that it might get lost in the shuffle of that show?
I think they'll still find some sort of way to make people, for it not to get lost in the shuffle, because they are two people who really just want to, they go out there and put on amazing matches, great character work.
Yeah.
And I feel like they will, maybe they might think the same, maybe they think maybe it could get lost in the shuffle, but that's all the more reason to then just be like, guess what? Let's pull it all out of the bag.
That is very true. That wasn't the only title match that was set for Double or Nothing last night.
Yes, no. An AEW women's title match was confirmed as Toni Storm will defend the title against Serena Deeb. Now, Deeb has her sights on the title, and she has had the sights on the title, for the last few weeks. And after defeating Mariah May on Dynamite last night, the match indeed was set.
Toni Storm's promo work has been phenomenal.
Yes.
And there was a little bit, I think it came up, I don't think it was last night, I think it was last week. Yeah, of course it was last week. It was with Toni Storm and Mariah May and declaring like Serena Deeb not worthy. It was the way that she worded it was really, really good. So they're going to have themselves a showdown at Double or Nothing. Also already confirmed for Double or Nothing, the international title on the line. Roderick Strong defending against Will Ospreay. And the TBS title, it'll be Willow Nightingale defending, the one finally making her debut for AEW, Mercedes Moné. What a gig. You sign with a wrestling company, you don't wrestle for the first quarter of the year.
I build up that suspense, eh? Build up that suspense.
Building up. The TNT title is on the line next week as well. Adam Copeland defended successfully against Buddy Matthews this week. He'll defend against Brody King next week, en route to facing Malachi Black, it seems like. However, Kyle O'Reilly could be a potential future challenger. Him and Copeland had a little friendly chat backstage, and Kyle O'Reilly seemed to very much be taken by the TNT title.
I could see that around that young man's waist. That title around that young man's waist at some point. I think he'd be a brilliant TNT champion.
I could see that being a thing. And I think, it's a shame that we move on Kyle O'Reilly from Roddy so quick.
Yeah.
But I guess, they
can move on. They can do something for a little while, can't they, before they come back round to it again?
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
when Adam's a little bit more healthier as well with his foot and everything, we can get back to that, can't we?
That's very true. What I love about the build to Double or Nothing is a lot of matches that I think could potentially steal the show. I think with Swerve and Christian being motivated to not get lost in the shuffle, I think they could assemble a banger.
Yes,
There's some
for
good
sure.
stuff in there as well. Really intrigued to see what Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné do as well. And Ospreay and Roddy.
Ooh,
that's a cheeky little one.
Do you know what? That's not a match I would have thought of. Initially, if I thought of Will Ospreay in AEW, you kind of think of all the dream match kind of things. But that's going to be good. That's going to be really, really good.
That's going to be a good time, and there could potentially be a very good time coming this weekend. WWE presenting Backlash France on Saturday, and could WWE be planning a major surprise for the crowd in France?
Well, maybe. John Cena was spotted in France. He took a selfie with a fan courtesy of C Nation Boy 3 on Instagram, so there's a strong chance he could pop by Backlash on Saturday.
Very much like with Money in the Bank last year in London, where he happened to be in the neck of the woods, so he just popped by. I could see them popping the crowd in France by having a John Cena appearance.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Him come out, pop it, maybe be like, we'll be coming back to France at some point.
You watch him say, hey, what if we have WrestleMania in France? See what you're doing, Jonathan Cena. 9 pitches for Backlash France, currently waiting for you on the YouTube channel and on the podcast feed as well. I have not yet heard your pitches.
Well, I was told that one of yours was for, one of your ideas was for Renee Dupree to come back, and that coincidentally was one of mine.
Whoa!
I know.
The greatest of minds thinking alike there. Predictions for Backlash France with Andrew and Adam, as you will be doing live reactions.
Yes, we will. YouTube.com/cultaholic/live. I am not sure of the time yet because UK time and French time are a little bit different. Also, obviously, that translated into US time. Stay tuned. I will find out if you watch the predictions this evening. Then guess what? We'll tell you the exact time right there and then.
Join us live at youtube.com/Cultaholic/live, and then what happened at and the WTF moments from Backlash France as well. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
No, I don't. Love you bye. Love you bye. I don't know what it is in French.
J'adore.
J'adore.